Yo, yo, it is May 18th, and we are back with fantasy news today. We got a bunch of news to talk about. Going to be covering news from the last week and a half or so. Going to be touching a little bit on the NFL schedule and the bye weeks. And we're going to get you guys hyped up on Drew Brees. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see what happens.
Intro me.
As I make my way, the fact I'm still alive, my claim to fame. There's no surprise, I'm on a rise, finna stake my claim. Separate me from the others, cause we ain't the same. Ask my brothers from another, we ain't for play. Time is money, so we got no time to wait. Soon as this thing's moving, it can't be stopped. Blue bands in my pocket, call that juggernaut.
In the world today takes everything you've got. Taking a break from all your worries sure would help a lot.
You know the stat quo. Finna get a bag, bustin' down that blow. Out of East Side.
Oh, yeah. It is party time. Wednesday. Fantasy news today. I'm the 420 Fantasy Hustler.
And I am holding on to dear life.
Life in the fast lane. That's the only way to roll.
You know what I'm saying? Flying by the seat of my pants, wind in my back, sun to my face, cash in my pocket. Let's go.
Yeah. Ron in the building. What up, bro? Antonio in the building. What up?
Hey.
TJ, what up? What up? Anthony in the building. What's going on, brother? We got a lot of news to talk about, but let's talk about the things that are, well, really the thing, most relevant, at least right now. James Bradberry. He got released by the Giants. He's getting like 10 mil, 10 mil on his contract. It was like 10 mil this year and like another mil next year. And we were just kind of guessing who's going to sign him and what are they going to sign him for? Because he could take the veteran minimum, add that to the 10 mil he's getting from the Giants. He's happy.
Where's good old double dip?
Where's he go? He stays in the NFC least. He is smart. He already knew you stay in the NFC East. You're going to be able to pad those stats. He goes to the Eagles for a smooth 1 year, 10 mil deal. He's getting paid 20 mil this year.
Wow. Hey, this is awesome. Cause like now that secondary, you have, he's going to be a phenomenal number two.
Oh yeah.
Opposite of Darius Slay, and Slay he's one of the few guys that still shadows. So it's like he's gonna be able to shut down your best receiver or even just a whole side if they don't have him shadow. You know what I mean? And James Bradberry, he's gonna be a guy that's gonna get a lot of balls thrown his way though. So he's gonna get put to work.
Oh yeah, Darius Slay. I'm not going to say he's the best corner, in the league, but like you said, he's one of the few shadow corners. I consider him a shutdown corner, and their number two corner has always really been their weakness because Slay's so good, they're always going to the other side. Now you add a guy like James Bradberry in there. I think this is going to be real nasty for their secondary.
And they have a very aggressive front to begin with, so it's like. Now, add coverage sacks on there now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, now linebacker, I'd say, is probably the weakest spot on their entire squad. And they got, what's his name, Nakobe Dean. I don't know how much he's going to make an impact year one. They got Kaiser White. He's going to be behind him. So he might only be like a 30 to 40% like guy year one. And then year two, he's probably going to be the guy because Kaiser White's only on a 1 year deal.
I love that Kaiser White pickup, though. Like, this is kind of what they do. Last year they did it with Nick Vigil. They just find, they're gonna find, somebody to plug and play, a veteran, and then hopefully this guy, whatever his shoulder issue, Dean, whatever it is, what does he have, shoulder?
I believe so. I'll go double check on that, but I know that he was, a potential late first round, without that injury. So that's really what it comes down to.
I think everyone was aware. Oh, okay.
He's got 2 injuries.
Damn.
Yeah.
One of them might require surgery. Was that what they're fearful of?
Let me see. That was the nerve-wracking part about the whole thing. No, I don't see anything about an injury necessarily, but that was the reason why he fell to the 3rd round. because he was well hyped, beyond that third round.
He was the dean.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Ron, he said the Eagles never play 3 linebackers. Yeah, exactly. That's why Dean's probably not going to be getting too much work year one. I mean, they chose him for the talent, and maybe it was someone, a lot of these third-round picks, especially linebackers, we see a lot of times they literally just sit second string. Maybe they mix in a little bit here or there, but a guy like Logan Wilson, that's someone who comes to mind where year one, he got no work at all. Like, he barely touched the field, and then year two, he's a damn near 100% starter.
What's buddy's name? Pete Warner from the Saints. Spencer was just putting me onto him. What is he? He's a second-year kid.
Let me see.
Pete Warner.
Spencer's gonna have to put me onto him too, because
yeah,
not a household name for me. Yeah, drafted in the second round last year.
Yeah, because this is a guy like with no Quan Alexander now. Like, the depth chart. People start moving up, and he's a kid that we need to look out for. You know what I mean?
That's a good one. Let's get him on the radar. Let's see where he's actually at on the depth chart right now. Oh, he's starting on the depth chart as of right now. So yeah, there's someone that we got to get on the radar. And any second round, yeah, I mean, even some of these third rounders, like if they're in the right system, they could ball out and have these second year breakouts, guys like Logan Wilson. And yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Pete Warner. Let's get him on the radar. Let's shout out everyone who's up in the chat. So let's see. Lee's up in the chat. What up, bro?
What up, Lee?
And TJ said, how many Philly cheesesteaks can he buy with that? I mean, shit. 20 mil, I don't know if that's a lifetime supply, but I'm sure it's very close to it.
Hey, when I make my joints, right, at home, gotta be ribeye, first of all. And onions, peppers, shrooms, all that shit, right? But I use provolone, and then I do the cheese whiz as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
And
apparently that's in Philly. And Ron will probably attest to this because maybe he could correct me on this, but I know I think Geno's or whatever it is, that's one of them. Like they do like the cheese whiz, and then the other joint does the provolone. Like,
yeah,
I bring it together. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And Anthony said, is Bradberry worth a draft pick? What round typically? I mean, it really depends. In the Hustler League, he'll be worth a draft, but he'll be drafted hella late. Like,
is he a good tackler?
He's decent. Yeah, I mean, especially in a system like this where he's going to be opposite of Darius Slay.
Mm-hmm. You get a lot of targets.
Yeah, so I mean, he's not going to be drafted, I wouldn't say, in the top 15 to 20 rounds. Like he'll be one of those guys who's like a bench player for sure, especially because of his age. I mean, he's getting
shout out to AB. AB is on the clock in Hustler 13. He's right before me. I'll grab James Bradberry right now in 50, whatever it is.
Yeah,
52 or what are we in? 53?
Yeah. All right, let's see.
Yeah, he's a 50th rounder.
Exactly.
I'd rather have Mike Hilton over James Bradberry because Mike Hilton gets a lot of tackles and they send him off the edge sometimes out of you know what I mean? They have him rushing the QB from the nickel. You know what I mean?
Oh, and forgot to remind everybody, don't forget about the jersey giveaway that we're doing this month. We got the signed Ricky Williams jersey, got the green joint, the green and orange. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So if you're not on Patreon, you got to get over there right now. And if you like to leave super chats, for every $1 of your super chat, you get an extra entry.
It's so dope when he gets to talking that Zodiac shit because it's got, and then the astrology shit. Because it's it's like another language that he speaks fluent in. So it's just mad interesting. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. And Anthony said, I'm in League 14. I know you are, bro. When's our draft? I forgot what it said. So it said to be determined.
You didn't forget, Anthony. You know it's coming.
So I believe I want to try to do it Sunday where we do the race or whatever. Because I don't know. We're going out of town on Saturday. So I don't know if we're going to be able to do it unless it's really late. I don't know if that's
let's do the race thing. Let's do the race thing Friday.
Well, oh yeah. That's actually what I said. That we can try to do the race thing Friday if it works for everyone's schedule. And then the draft's literally gonna start right after that.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, Anthony said that's a fat Ricky Williams jersey. So I know you're already on Patreon, so you already got some entries. But super chats, things like that, that's how you're going to get some extra ones. And I just noticed we both got the dope airbrushes on today. I'm repping the mask. You got Aaliyah.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. to the GOATs.
And Antonio, that's funny. I'm looking at my roster and I clicked on Mike Hilton before Bogard said his name.
The universe.
Man, all right.
Like, we didn't plan to wear airbrush joints neither. You know what I mean?
No, it just happened.
Yep.
Real organic.
You know what I'm saying?
All right. Someone who the universe is not working in their favor, Tariq Cohen. So he's live streaming a workout and he tears his Achilles.
Oh, no.
He's doing one of the ones where, like one of the, not the cone drill, but you know, where you got to do the high knees, you run up and then you run back. And it was like he ran back and then cut to go back forward. And it gave out on him. And you could tell like he already knew.
Here's what bothers me. Why is he doing that drill? When will he ever do that in the game? Maybe when if he's receiving a kickoff, I guess. You know what I mean? He needs to back up a little bit because the ball's about to go over his head. Maybe that, but it's like,
really, he was just trying to show his acceleration. I'm assuming, but yeah, I don't know.
I mean, you know what I said about Tariq Cohen going into 2020, right? I remember because that's when he tore his ACL. I think in the preseason, something like that. Might have even been training camp. Either way, I remember saying we'll have fond memories of Tariq Cohen. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You don't know who Tariq Cohen is, Ron? Or are you just messing around? Yeah.
The human joystick, the chicken salad, Tariq Cohen.
He was so fucking good. I remember like the first play that I saw like of his career. Like I play in a handful of leagues where you could go pick players up like right away. And it wasn't really much, but it was like a 10-yard like little sweep or whatever. But he just looked so electric in those 10 yards. I just went and swooped him right away, dropped some bullshit wide receiver or something.
Here's the thing. Check this out. He didn't have no high draft capital,
right?
But this was Nagy's first year. And you know, no one knew Nagy was a bonehead yet because they thought he was a whiz kid coming from Andy Reid. You know what I'm saying? And like this was their version of Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
Him coming from the Chiefs and having Tyreek Hill, you know what I'm saying, since 2016. They drafted this motherfucker. I think they might have even like traded up into the 3rd round or 4th round to get him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and like that was what's his name too, Jordan Howard, and we didn't know what he was really going to be at that point.
And like, and you know what's crazy is I remember it was a preseason game.
He was a 4th rounder.
He was a 4th rounder. Okay, and I remember it was a preseason game, and so you know they play a ton because he's a 4th rounder. You know what I mean? He's a second, third stringer, the borderline type shit. So he's playing a ton of this game, and he just moves a big ass pile. Like he's hella small. And I see them, they stop his ass, blah, and he just moves a pile another yard. I was like, oh, shit. You know what I'm saying? Because he's fast and he was strong, bro.
Yep.
He was fast, like Tyreek Hill fast, for real.
So, I think we may have seen Tariq Cohen for the last time, like in an NFL jersey. Yeah. And it sucks to say, but we'll pour one out for him and smoke
and like I said, and I'm gonna miss everybody. And I'm gonna miss everybody. Oh.
Yeah, if he didn't have bad luck, he'd have no luck at all. That's for damn sure.
You know what? He got a bag though, right before he tore his ACL. They gave him an extension, and like so he got a decent bag. And you know what? Here's the thing too with Tariq Cohen. Is like I said back then, going into 2020, we'll always have fond memories of Tariq Cohen.
Yeah.
Because that's all it is now.
Yep. And Antonio said, I got Cohen in WWF 1. I didn't even realize it until today.
You got to keep him on your squad for morale.
Yeah. At this point, can't cut him early. All right, so another small piece of news. The Colts signed Philip Lindsay. And one reason why I like this is this just gets one person out of the way for Dameon Pierce.
Who? Philip Lindsay?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, you were thinking the inverse. That's right, because him to the Colts is him leaving Houston. That's right. I like
exactly.
That.
Yeah. So he hadn't been signed yet, but I think everyone just assumed that he was going to stay there just on a cheap deal.
Yeah. No. Awesome. I mean, because Sexy Rexy is a guy they'll trust in pass pro. Right? If it was right now, he's the guy they would trust in pass pro. Because that was one thing Marlon Mack didn't do very great for the Colts. I mean, we remember Andrew Luck getting beat up in that year in 2018, and they had the number one line that year, or top 5 at least.
Right.
He's still getting hit because if they got through, Marlon Mack couldn't stop nobody. You know what I mean?
And Anthony said, "Damn, how's my boy Herbert on the Bears going to do this year? Do they still have Damian Williams?"
No, Damian Williams is with the Falcons.
Yeah,
and I really believe in both those running backs are just going to be utilized as much as possible, because like this is Justin Fields in like a second year, right? And with a new coordinator, so it's going to be dumbed down for him. They're going to run the ball a ton, and their OC, I forget his name. It's like Gretzky, whatever their OC's name is. But he was the quarterback coach underneath Matt LaFleur last year.
Yep.
So, we're expecting, heavy run, a tandem of backs. That would be both Montgomery and Herbert. And I think Herbert, too, is one of those guys that, like, while everyone goes in for the Tony Pastas and the Alexander Madisons and stuff, I'd probably just rather get Herbert because, if Monty's shown us anything, he gets hurt. And then, Herbert get a whole load in a zone run scheme and catching passes while we're at it. Like, no more threat of a Tariq Cohen coming back. I mean, there is no – who do they got? What's his name?
No, the only person who they ended up picking up is Darrington Evans. So he's number 3.
That's right, but he's more like he's a plotter type, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's scat back. One thing that you mentioned Tony Pasta. He's going to be more in the handcuff. Alexander Madison just straight handcuff. I think Herbert will probably be right in the middle because he's definitely going to be more than a handcuff. He's going to get.
But wouldn't you think though? People are going to draft those guys. I mean, I won't put Tony Pasta in this conversation because he is like a fringe flex guy, right?
Right.
But like, people are going to take Madison over they take Herbert. You know what I mean?
Oh, right, for sure.
Yeah.
But,
I'd probably play on Herbert.
And it might not even be the Dalvin Cook manager who takes Alexander Madison because there's a bunch of guys who are going to want to swoop, get real cute, swoop maybe a round or two early, on some of these handcuffs. And if you have Dalvin Cook and someone swoops Alexander Madison, I would definitely grab Herbert and just be laughing all the way to the bank anyways.
Yeah, plus, like, I forget who said this. I think Jake Seeley said this. It always stuck with me. It's like, his philosophy on handcuffing is like, in redraft, okay, I'm holding on to the handcuff. But if I have a different handcuff, if something happens to the guy in front of the handcuff I'm holding, now I have 2 starters versus like, I have Cook and Madison, and then Madison's nothing to me but a space holder and insurance in case, you know what I mean?
Yep. And you know what? Ron's right. He said Lindsay was on the Dolphins, and Jay Levin said the same thing. He finished up on the Dolphins. Yeah, what was it? Did he got released?
Oh, yeah, that's right. They cut him.
Didn't do nothing.
They cut him. That's what it was. They cut him, and they cut him and Duke Johnson.
Yeah.
And then they both went over there.
Yep.
They're like, fuck it, let's go to Miami.
But one thing that we never talked about because, at FNT, it was a week ago. And something that happened last Thursday was Jerry Judy getting arrested. Now, at first, I know everybody was panicking and, the big domestic violence, headlines. But then we hear more and more about this. We hear that there was no physical contact. So who knows exactly what happened, but we know that the mother of his child, she's telling the judge that she wants the case dismissed. So I don't think anything's really going to happen to Judy.
Yeah, and then like if I'm Judy's agent, I'm already wording up the PR like, hey, look, Let's get him. Go to like a couple homeless kitchens and serve some soup. Let's get him to a couple women's abuse meetings. You know what I'm saying? Like automatically do like all kind of good PR. Like he needs to start doing like charity shit immediately.
Yeah, for sure. And so
like make everyone look at you back in a different light because he hasn't been looked at for being a star yet.
Right.
This is the first attention he's got versus his attention because of his, what he could do on the field. We really haven't seen it yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So he better be a good Samaritan and not get in trouble anytime soon. But yeah, as far as like his fantasy value dropping or whatever, because there was a whole bunch. I mean, it's crazy. As soon as he gets in trouble, it's Cortland Sutton to the moon, which I think Cortland Sutton's going to do better than Judy anyways. But another one, Tim Patrick to the moon. It's like all just the fallout.
You know what that is? That's some lazy ass fantasy math.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Here we go. Let's see who else we got. And while we're on the topic of like court cases and shit like that, might as well bring up Watson. Just that.
I thought you were gonna say bring up Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. I was like,
no.
Like I know all about this. I've been glued to that shit.
So now that there's going to be another investigation, I don't know how much is actually going on, but this is with the NFL, and if I'm not even sure like what the hell they're looking at right now because they said if there's still no charges brought up on him that the NFL is not going to do anything.
Objection, hearsay.
So I don't even understand this, but
is it another county?
No, it's just like the Browns are doing the investigation now or something.
Oh yeah, I don't know. Maybe this is good PR for the Browns. No matter what, they paid him all this guaranteed money, and like they did have the insurance for this immediate year.
Yeah.
In case he gets suspended, they only got him $1 million to the motherfucking. This is a good organization. Think about this. They go and get Deshaun Watson because it was the prime moment to get him. Like there's a small window to get him. They went and got him. They were one of the teams that no one looked at that was going to get him. They got him. Then,
I think you're just on the recent hype from draft day. Don't forget that was fake stuff.
Yes, no, but listen. No, but hear me out here though.
I'm fucking with you.
What I love about this though is they're hella smart because they got him for $1 million, knowing damn well he might miss a whole year for all we know, another year, and then they just won't deal Baker. They're like, we're gonna wait, bro. Just you know what I mean? And then Baker's gonna have to go out there and play well. And you see what happened right now? Deshaun Watson, they're like in the Bahamas, and he took like all the teammates.
Nice.
Yeah, like a bonding trip. You know what I mean?
And Baker's not there, or Baker is there?
No, hell no, he's not there. I think Baker's doing his own trip, but I don't think anybody's going to that trip.
Oh man, he's like Bo Callahan in his
I was just about to say that. I was just about to say that shit. Oh,
so if you guys don't know, the reason why we're making a bunch of references for draft day, we got our third episode in the can, and we broke down draft day with Kevin Costner. It's on podcast form right now. Just go to ssbpod.com and go check that shit out. It's going to be on YouTube this Friday morning, 9 Pacific, 12 noon Eastern. You won't be able to see any of the scenes because YouTube didn't like it. So we had to cut those out, but listening to it in podcast form, you can hear 100% of the show. All right, one little piece that we got to bring up, the Falcons, they signed former Raiders linebacker Nick Patowski. So for fantasy purposes, he was always someone who's kind of lingering around linebacker 4 or 5, but just someone real deep, and he had like COVID and got hurt last year, but let's see where he mixes in on the Falcons, even if he could get
he's going to get a lot of work.
Their linebacker room is kind of suspect right now.
They brought in Rashad Evans.
Yep.
Then they brought in
who was whatever on Tennessee.
Yeah, he was whatever.
He never lived up to the hype.
Yeah, then they brought in a buddy from the Chargers, Nazir. Starts, or is the guy, or is it the one that starts? His name starts with a U.
I forget exactly. Let me pull up the depth chart here.
Yeah, Pete Gang.
Oh, where the hell is it? No, it was Casey Hayward who they brought in.
Okay,
and he played on the Raiders.
Yeah, so they got the 2 Raider guys, and they brought Rashad Evans. I know there's one more linebacker that they brought over from the Chargers.
Who the fuck did they? I mean, Lorenzo Carter. I don't even know if he was on the Chargers.
No, he came from the Giants. Lorenzo Carter came from the Giants. That's another one of those low key guys.
I don't see anyone on here. I mean, I know they got a new rookie.
Yeah, I might be wrong.
Yeah, I don't think it was anyone from the Chargers. But yeah, they got. I mean, their rookie, their second round rookie, Arnold Abaketti. I don't know how to pronounce.
And they should be like playing. They should be on the field a lot. This defense. I mean,
Austin, what up, bro? Hey, hey, since you weren't here and we talked about it, the Ricky Williams signed jersey giveaway is the Patreon giveaway this month. Throw in those super chats though to get some extra entries, and anyone who's joined up as a YouTube member, you get extra entries as well for that. Yeah. And Ronald said, how many no-name players have signed? Too many to count. Let's stay in that NFC. Let's stay in that NFC South and talk about Sean Payton real quick and Drew Brees. So Sean Payton is going to join the Fox Sports crew for the 2022 season. And at the same time, Drew Brees opts out of NBC and is like, fuck you guys. They told him that he was going to get the starting spot on the Sunday night crew, and they reneged on, I mean, I don't even know if it was an offer.
They hit him with the old 42 fakie.
They got him real comfortable over there, snatched the rug out from under him because he thought he was about to be there with Chris Collinsworth on Sunday Night Football.
And he said they had him doing the Notre Dame games. He's like, the fuck, I'm Drew Brees doing a goddamn Notre Dame games.
But I think one thing that Drew Brees realized real quick is he is no Sharon Stone. Like he was really not that good at the it wasn't even color commentary. Like what the fuck was he? Because he was only giving like the halftime breakdowns and shit like that, and it was always whack, and he was always picking the games wrong too.
Oh man, I mean it's a different game. You know what I mean? It's a different game, bro. Like it, you know what I mean?
You think
being the talking head versus being the guy on the field, like maybe he just always. I mean, you seen his little before the game chant, where it's like, you know, he goes around yelling at everybody in the circle, and they have like a whole routine.
Shit. Yeah,
they have a whole routine like W-I-W, yeah, I-W-I, like whatever the fuck they're spelling. He did that same shit for like over a decade. You know what I mean? I bet you if you with him for like 3-4 years, you're not even it's like
same shit.
Yeah, it's the same shit. You know what I mean? Maybe he's just more bland with his personality. Like, but you know, like Tony Romo, you know, that's the guy. He's out there fucking Jessica Simpson, doing all kind of shit. You know what I mean? You know, he just got a different swag to him. You could tell when he calls the game. It's just like it was the easy transition for him because you got to be a personality to be on TV, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, for sure. And so maybe, you know, this is Drew Brees seeing how much Tony Romo is getting paid. You know, Tony Romo's getting paid some high dollars. And it was him saying, you know, I'm about to leave CBS if you guys don't pay me when my contract's up. They pay him. They make him the highest paid, you know, color commentator ever. And then he sees Tom Brady come out, not even make it. Made it probably the least far that he's made it in his entire career, you know, in the playoffs. Comes out, hasn't talked any bit of football on any kind of network other than the Peyton and Eli show bullshitting.
Well, he does that during the year. He did like a weekly spot. It was the Let's Go podcast. And like they aired, I don't know where they aired it. I mean, I knew you were able to like find it on YouTube after, but like I guess like live it was like syndicated like different podcast platforms, and then like I guess some local like radio in Massachusetts or whatnot. I'm assuming, right? But I just remember there's hella clips from it. So you know, but it's just it's the same Tom Brady. It's not like he's super charismatic. You know what I mean?
He's goofy and he's got like a stupid, dad funny, to him, but it had to be a slap in the face to Drew Brees. Tom Brady, I mean, yeah, talking on the podcast and, they got a bunch of show and all that shit, but to come out and get paid $37 million a year for 10 years straight, like, maybe that's why Drew Brees is like, what do you say? I might go do some cornhole, tournament or something. I might go play football. I may go do nothing. He's not gonna fucking play again. Like he was done. He was done.
You know what? We'll always have fond memories of Drew Brees. Hey, that was a good call. That was a good callback.
He was to me, he's the fantasy GOAT for QB. I mean, the 5,000 yard seasons, like that was just ridiculous. Never really thrown a bunch of interceptions. Any one of those 5,000 yard seasons.
That defense always sucked.
Yeah, had to keep throwing it.
Yeah.
Shout out to Sean Payton, never building up the defense.
Yeah, and then when they even when they finally did, you know what I mean? Like, because it was like an extreme, like 180. Like it was a 2017 comes around. They got who do they get? They get Jordan and
what up, Chase?
Is it Cameron?
Cameron Jordan?
Yeah, Cameron Jordan and Lattimore, and like just that defense just came together. And then they had Kamara and Ingram, and they're the most rushingest that year, right? I think they touchdowns.
Yeah,
the whole team. I think Drew had like 4 or 5 of them motherfuckers too himself.
Right.
Yeah, and then Drew Brees, I think he was like 4,000. Like I remember from then on, I was like, that's it. This is what they're trying to do: run, throw short. You know what I mean? Like a 15-play drive every time.
He couldn't sling it like before. What up, Chase? He said, he needs to stay retired from football. Who would even take him? I'd rather have Jameis right now. I think the Saints would rather have Jameis right now too.
Coming off the ACL, even. I mean, consider that. Drew Brees, you know what I'm saying? When he's doing the broadcasting, he was fresh off of shoulder surgery. It wasn't on his throwing arm, but still surgery nonetheless at age, 42, 43?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And sticking with the Saints, they went out and signed Jarvis Landry. I like this move for the Saints.
Juice.
Got to get some weapons around Jameis. And remember when we were talking to Ricky a couple days ago, we were talking about the Capricorns and how, like, if you put them in a system, with beats around them and the system is just all in unison, the QB's happy, good things happen.
That's Jameis, right? That's Jameis, right?
That Jameis is a Capricorn.
Yeah.
So now you got Michael Thomas, who may not start right away, but Jarvis Landry and Chris Olave. You got 2 possession receivers, and you got a big deep threat. Like, that's a good trio for Jameis to have.
And Kamara out of the backfield.
Yep.
Hey, listen. Hey, we'll always have fond memories of Drew Brees. You know what I'm saying? Because I want to see famous Jameis with hella weapons. Like, I always love Jameis. I love Jameis because of fantasy. Like this goes back to like 2016. Like he's just been eating the late round acquisition that's just gonna eat for your fantasy team. You know what I mean? And like they tried to dumb him down last year. They like what he did, but then like look at this when he gets efficient. Look at week 1. I think he threw the ball like 20 times. He threw 5 tugs. You know what I'm saying? He threw. I think he might have threw the ball more than 20 times, but it was just like we're like, oh shit. You know what I mean? And then the yards weren't really there.
Didn't matter. For fantasy, like we want to see him throw 500 yards and 5 touchdowns, but shit, he threw like 175 yards and 5 touchdowns. No one gave 2 shits about those yards. Those 5 touchdowns, killer. And
that's a 30 burger.
TJ, I just put the link in there for you. It's ssbpod.com, Silver Screen Breakdown Pod. .com. So yeah, go check it out. Let us know what you think. Leave us a 5-star review because it is a separate podcast from this, and we know you're gonna love it because man, it was a dope movie, and there were some nice mushroom epiphanies.
I forgot I was streaming good on that one. I like those. I like doing those ones because it's like it's a transformation because I eat the shrooms then we do the show. You know what I mean?
And now you could go listen back to it, and it's like you were never there to begin with. You can see how it all.
Yeah, it would be like that.
Another small signing. Well, I doubt that this is really going to have too much impact, but the Dolphins went and signed Melvin Ingram. You know, I mean, he's pretty much been off his game. I mean, even with the last year or two with the Chargers, but Dolphins just going out and getting more veteran depth.
I like it. He's just coming off. He's like 33 years old. He's just going to be coming off the edge in like third down packages. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's, you know what I mean?
Role player at best.
Yeah.
But we do have a trade in the NFL. We have the Raiders trading Bryan Edwards and a 2023 7th rounder to the Falcons in exchange for a 2023 5th rounder. So Bryan Edwards was definitely not going to go anywhere on the Raiders. Like, I mean, he had maybe one spurt last year where he had maybe 2 good quarters or something, maybe in 2 games back to back. He wasn't going to do shit with the Raiders.
I think it was the game where he scored. He scored I think he scored 2. I don't know if it was 2 touchdowns, but I know he scored a touchdown in this one game. But it was like a drive where he had 50 yards and 3 catches and a tug. You know what I mean?
And that was it.
Yeah.
So he's definitely have more of a chance of doing something with the Falcons than with the Raiders. But I mean, shit, wide receiver 5. You know, if you're lucky, maybe wide receiver 4. Probably going to go undrafted in every single redraft league out there. Will be a really late drafted guy in the Dynasty.
Hey, you know what's going to be hella annoying? If in training camp, Mariota's yeah, hell yeah, because they were probably playing with the team 2s together at the Raiders. You know what I mean?
Oh, man, I totally forgot about that. Fuck.
And then London and them, they're oh yeah, everyone looks good in camp. And then when he gets to the game, he only, Mariota, he just has eyes for one dude. He's always been like that.
Always.
And if Brian, that's gonna be funny if Brian Edwards and the motherfuckers gonna be hot with Kyle Pitts in the goddamn London. Yeah. I mean, that's highly unlikely, but it's also more likely that everyone's gonna be shitty because it's Mariota. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I know there's a couple Bryan Edwards truthers around there. We used to hang out with one of them last season, so they're probably loving I
don't think they know a lot. if you're a Bryan Edwards truther, I don't think you know too much.
I second that. All right, one thing that I wanted to talk about, we're going to be getting into the schedule, over the next couple weeks. I mean, 18-week schedule. There's going to be a lot to talk about. But I wanted to talk about the bye weeks. Everyone's freaking out about the bye week apocalypse, and it's because of old dogs like Matthew Berry, coming on. And
fuck them.
Week 14 is going to be the end of your fantasy league if you draft any of these players. This year, it's good and bad. So the good thing, bye weeks don't start until week 6. We've always had bye weeks start in week 4. Yep. And then it was always just kind of spread out. But now one of the bad things about it, there's only 2 weeks where we have 2 teams on bye, and that's it. The rest, it's 4 or above in all these other weeks. So in week 6, week 7, week 10 and 11, we got 4 teams on bye. Week 9 and week 14, we got 6 teams on bye. I got all the teams if anyone's curious who's on there, and I'll read out at least the week 9 ones because those are the big ones. Week 12, there's nobody on bye, so that's kind of cool. We do get a week just randomly where there's nobody on bye. Week 8 and week 13, those are the weeks where we got 2 teams on bye.
Right.
So week 9 and week 16, those always seem to be, or week 9 and week 14, those always seem to be the big weeks where we're getting the most teams on bye. I'm going to be trying to avoid guys who are, just week 14 in redraft leagues.
What are the teams on the 14?
Hold on.
Because I want to say something. This is interesting this year because they did pepper it all over the place, right? Yeah. Remember last year? I think the bye apocalypse was week 7. And then I remember when we covered this last year, I was saying I would draft a whole team just week 7 bye weeks because they were all dope teams. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So week 14, we got the Falcons, we got the Bears, Not too much there. Got the Packers, so Aaron Rodgers. We got the Colts, Jonathan Taylor. Again, he had week 14 last week as well. And then you got the Saints and the Commanders. So really, I mean, Aaron Rodgers, he's already taken a hit with everything that they've been doing over there. He'll be one of those guys I get at a great value at like QB 14 or some shit like that in the Superflex League. But really, it's Jonathan Taylor. I mean, that's the biggest name, on this list. That'd be rough. What if you need to win to get in week 14 and you don't got JT on your squad and he was the number 1 overall pick in the league?
I'm gonna be the guy trying to trade for JT at a certain point in the year
and just bringing it up to him, huh? Like, you're about to get fucked,
bro. You're about to get fucked, bro. Let me get that. I'll give you Matt Breida and Saquon. You listen.
That's the way to do it. And there we go, Chase. He says it's good to plan for them, but not overthink it. Yeah, because I don't think anyone should not draft Jonathan Taylor, in 101 just because of that.
I want to say something. If it's my destiny, then it's my destiny.
And see,
I'm bringing it back.
How many
when we draft, we don't never think about none of that shit.
That's week 14. Like, come on. Like, we're like, what percentage of your team will even be the same from week 1 to week 14 in a redraft?
Well, here's the thing too. I guess this is like I be forgetting that like people might play in like 3 or 4 leagues at most. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. So like there is a good like there was times when I was like playing in 3-4 leagues where that year just by luck by destiny, I guess has it, I was drafting from the back of the first round in each one. So yeah. I swear all my teams looked the same that year. Yeah. I was just getting in the same range. Like, I like this guy here. I like this guy there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that shit fucked me up. You know what I mean? That
damn it. So here was something where it came into play. So in these dynasty leagues, we have the little like side pot, the little league within the league, where there's championship games, happening every single week leading up to a week 16 championship. And Antonio said WWF 1, my whole team was on by week 7 and I lost both my belts. Man, see that sucks because you may never get the momentum back.
I know. I think I have both the belts for one time, one week, and then I lost it right away. I got hit with the bipocalypse for real.
So and you know what's crazy? Week 8, that's one of the teams with only 2 teams on bye. The Chiefs and the Chargers. They gave them the same week. So if you have a Mahomes, Herbert stack somehow in Superflex,
where's it? What week is this one?
Week 8. That could be a combo that hurts you.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's not a likely combo because both of those guys are probably going, late.
See, this is good. This is good right here because this is the point where like you could try to buy you a Mahomes or a Herbert in redraft if those guys that have those guys are like, fucking 2 and fucking 5 at that moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that's what you said week 8. You're like, listen, bro, you need to do something, bro. I'll take Herbert, give you Danny Dimes, and whatever other bullshit they need.
Damn.
That's literally the way to trade in just recency bias and redraft. Just boom, you need this. Take it.
And that's the exact reason why me and Bogard never make it.
Hey, I'll send you a trade, and I'll be like, "Hey, I sent you a trade." You go, "Yeah, I know." And you're like, I rejected it. Oh, he was up there for a while. He knew it. He knew it was a bad trade.
All right. Week 1. Let's talk about that at least. It's a pretty dope lineup of games. The Thursday game, Bills at the Rams. We're going to get some fireworks right out the gate for fantasy on that Thursday game. And then we got Packers, Vikings, 49ers, Bears, Chargers, Raiders, Chiefs, Cardinals, Lions, Eagles, Panthers, Browns, Patriots, Dolphins in Miami also, Texans, Broncos, Steelers, Bengals, Ravens, Jets, Jags, Washington, Giants, Titans, Colts, Texans. We got the Bucks and the Cowboys on Sunday Night Football. That was a great game last year for fantasy. It was the Thursday night game, though. Mm-hmm. And then you got the Broncos in Seattle on Monday Night Football.
They're not doing the double Mondays?
Nope.
That sucks. They're fucking breaking tradition.
Man, that double Monday, it's kind of whack though.
Well, I mean,
I like it, but I mean, I don't think a lot of people,
hearsay.
I don't think a lot of people were tuning in on the first one of the two. And
well, you know, for me, I'm degenerate, so I like the double Mondays. It's just
because we're going to be live streaming all these Monday night football games and shit. Like, man, I don't have 6 hours to live stream on a Monday like that.
Yeah, well, I mean, like for me, just watching it, like you know what I mean. I get to start. I like to start drinking when football starts, so it's just tight.
Yeah,
it's a tradition. You know what I mean? And you know me, I'm already there's probably a lot of instances I'm already looking for a Monday Night Miracle. Week 1 shit.
And Antonio said Drew Lock revenge game. What about a Russell Wilson revenge game? He's been
the double revenge. Come on, revenge narrative.
He's been pissed off forever at them not getting the fucking lineman. And what do? The first year that he's gone, they go out and draft a lineman in the first round.
Hey, but this man, the Broncos defense is gonna do it all, bro. They're just gonna eat Drew Lock alive. They've been practicing against him. They know this motherfucker's tendencies. Oh, just flush him out to the right. He'll roll out. Hey, this is what you do to Drew Lock. You flush him out to his right, and he's gonna roll out, and then he throws a big ass pick. That's his move. He throws on the run right to the defender.
Yeah,
that's his move.
I can't wait. Week 1 is going to be crazy. I mean, some of these other games, I mean, Packers and Vikings, I mean, that's always like a decent game, but Packers D, I don't think it's going to be as solid as it was last year. So I'm thinking we're going to see some big Adam Thielen, Dalvin Cook, Justin Jefferson week 1, and Aaron Rodgers just having to throw it a lot because their team's just going to suck all around.
Hey, I think Green Bay will smack this first game. They got too many young pieces over there in that defense with a new coordinator. Like, you know what I mean? I feel like, you know, the Green Bay's going to come in there and like, you have Jair back. Like, you know, they shut down Jefferson. They didn't shut him down, but they kept them low key. Both times they played him, if I remember correctly. Mm-hmm. Maybe not the first meeting, but the last one in fantasy championship, week 17 last year. Yeah, they shut him down. But I mean, I guess he had, what's his name? Not a Mannion.
Who? Shane Mannion.
Sean Mannion.
There we go. A guy who was on my championship roster in the league. I still can't believe it.
Yeah, so I mean, circle. Yeah, because you know Corky Kirk could sling it though. I mean, it's gonna be interesting. I think Green Bay's defense is legit too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that remains to be seen. We shall see. They lost a couple pieces, but that secondary led by Jair Alexander, he's got that bag.
Yeah, they brought Rasul Douglas back. They made sure they kept on. Your boy, man. He was one of the waiver wire pickups of the year. Devondre Campbell.
Oh, Devondre Campbell. There we go.
Yeah, Devondre Campbell, and then they brought him back. Then they still got Kenny Clark, who's killing it. You know what I mean? They lost Za'Darius, but they still got Preston Smith. You know what I mean?
Yeah, who's been all right.
Yeah, and then they got Gary. They got Rashawn Gary.
Yep. Quay Walker. I mean, I'm excited about him. He should be right away.
Yeah, I was about to say because I mean the draft capital and the need. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I mean they drafted Devontae Wyatt in the first also, but I think that he's not at the top of the depth chart right now. I think he's going to be the role player of the two, but I think Quay Walker is going to be in there. I mean, I don't think he's going to be in every down linebacker yet because, I mean, that's going to be Devondre. Like when there's only one linebacker out there, Devondre will be that guy, but I bet he gets the second most amount of snaps out of any linebacker on the squad.
I like it.
Yeah.
When was Walker drafted? He's second round?
No, he's a first rounder.
Oh, he was a first round. Okay, I had that right.
Yeah. Yeah, him and Wyatt were both first rounders.
Yeah, that's right. They had 2 picks. That's right.
Yeah, there was only 2 linebackers drafted in the first round. It was Quay Walker and then Devin Lloyd.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and for everyone who doesn't know, I've been talking about it for the past week, but I'm releasing all my IDP ranks for rookies now that we got landing spots, and I'm kind of seeing the ADP, how they've been going, because the ranks are kind of based on where you can get some of these guys also. So yeah, it's going to be dropping over the next 3 days, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. They'll be premiering, so make sure you check those out. Going to be on the podcast form, and then they'll be on YouTube. There'll be uploads, but I'll still premiere them so we can all watch them live and talk some shit. And then we also got some Dynasty rookie rankings for wide receivers coming. Me, Bogard, and Spencer, the guru, we're going to be recording a video and getting that out there here in the next couple days too. So you can see all of our top 10 ranks on these rookie wide receivers.
Right.
And what else we got going on?
What's up?
So what else we got going on?
We got playmakers tomorrow. Normally we do it on Wednesday, but we do it tomorrow night. You know what I mean? We're just gonna kind of just nitpick the fuck out of this schedule, and you know what I mean? Maybe not in its entirety, but like shit that we just might like. Like I was looking around at motherfucking like the Bills schedule. I'm like, I like it. He's gonna be in a lot of shootouts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or like looking at like just everybody in the AFC West, like I'm like, oh, they're gonna be in a hell of shootouts. You know what I mean? Like I like this for fantasy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? I haven't really got into like looking at like certain running backs in what divisions and who they're playing, because then it's like you might be like, oh fuck, like look at it. When you're an NFC South running back, and you're like if you're from the Falcons or from the Panthers, like look at CMC, he has to go up against the Saints twice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He has to go up against Tampa twice. You know what I mean?
Here's my spoiler alert on the schedule. The easiest schedules, just based on division, is going to be the NFC East again. Just because of the strength of the division itself. And then the toughest division on paper is going to be the NFC West again. Like, man, they got tough games of their AFC games, just like they did last year. And then obviously
we're playing the AFC West this year, and then we're playing the NFC South.
That's going to be tough. That's going to be tough all around. So we already know the AFC West. I mean, that's the division that's extra hyped right now. But going up against the NFC West, that's going to level the playing field a little bit. AFC West has the most nationally televised games as well.
Yeah, good for them.
Making the most moves out of any division, I'd say. I'm excited to see them.
That's what happens when you have a Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah,
everyone's like, "Fuck, we get everybody hands on deck." You know what I mean? And then Andy Reid's like, all right, we got to get rid of Tyreek Hill. He's just so old school minded, where it's like this guy's begging for his money, and we'll move on from him. Let's see what we can get the world for him. You know what I mean?
I mean, the games that Tyreek Hill missed, it's not like Patrick Mahomes did bad. And Mahomes is just so good. Man, are they the 4th ranked team to you right now?
Fuck no.
Okay, not to me either, but I mean, to all the recency bias, to all the Raiders fans, Chiefs
I'd say just 4. On paper, I put the Chargers there because I just like what they did all around. And they had the illest fucking schedule breakdown video, the anime shit.
Yeah.
That shit went hard. You're talking
LA, man, they got some fucking college intern to whip some dope shit up.
I mean, and the dude that made it, he like worked for NFL Film or some shit. And he like left to get put on he's the Chargers like official like content guy.
Nice.
I know, right? They're probably paying him a guap. He's I can imagine NFL Network had it's more credential wise, like, yeah, you work for NFL Network, and they're getting paid, but this, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
he probably got to name his price over there with the Spanos.
Yeah, because NFL Network, I mean, we know they don't pay anybody like shit over there. Like, I mean, they got so many people working there, unless you're one of those like main guys who's on like every single fucking TV show, every radio broadcast. Like, yeah, you're not getting guap. And Chase, last question before we get up out of here. He said, Bogard, is it going to be Lance or Jimmy G this year?
It's going to be Lance. That one's easy. Give it a ding.
Yeah.
I mean, just consider this. you know what I mean? We're gonna go into training camp and like Jimmy's gonna barely be like cleared to start throwing a ball. We're moving with Lance as the starter now. I wouldn't, if I'm Lance and they do switch, like say I'm wrong and they do switch, that's fucked up. You know what I mean? Like for the young kids, he's not gonna be a happy camper. You know what I mean? This kid, we traded up to get him. He's our guy. He sat for a year. This is what the whole plan was. He shouldn't have played last year neither. I'm on record. I wanted Lance. We got Lance. And I said, we shouldn't play him yet. You know what I mean?
And Stativelli said, Bogard and Hustler, I need y'all both in one of my redraft leagues. What's up, fellas? Don't be shy. As long as it's on Sleeper, I'll get in one.
Yeah, I'm down. Just let me know. Let me know what the person's looking like.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
And I know Stativelli always does IDP and stuff too. That's why. That's why we linked up real nice when he saw the settings of my league.
And I'm with the sleeper shit. As long as it's sleeper, so I don't gotta like, you know what I mean. And this will probably be the only other redraft league that, you know what I mean, that I jump in this year.
Yeah,
I was in 16 of those motherfuckers last year.
Hell yeah! What up, Hess? Better late than never. What up, bro? All right. We're getting up out of here. Be on the lookout. Don't forget, tomorrow we got the Playmakers and in the evening time. And then we got the IDP, the defensive line rookies dropping tomorrow about 2 p.m. West Coast, 5 Eastern. So be on the lookout for that. See you guys tomorrow. Peace.
As I make my way, the fact I'm still alive, my claim to fame. It's no surprise I'm on a rise, finna stake my claim. Separate me from the others, cause we ain't the same. Ask my brothers from another, we ain't for play. Time is money, so we got no time to waste. Soon as this thing's moving, it can't be stopped. Blue bands in my pocket, call that juggernaut.
Everything in the world today takes everything you've got. Taking a break from all your worries sure would help a lot.
You know the stat quo. Finna get a bag, bustin' down that blow. Out of East Side.